Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today, yes, this is a replay, but I encourage you to stay, guys, because this is one of the best replays I've seen in a very long time. And I gotta say, it's it's really good. It's really good considering everything that's going on here. So this is Eddie in the Tier 8 Premium American Battleship Massachusetts, a ship I recommend you stop watching this video and go buy right now. It's a fantastic premium ship, one of the funnest ships in the game, in my opinion. For a very long time, this was actually my favorite premium ship and was only dethroned by the Ohio, which is basically this on steroids. So the Massachusetts, what it is, it's an Alabama with German levels of secondaries and German dispersion. Old school German dispersion that was really bad. And it's just this colossally fun ship. It has great AA, great torpedo protection, has a great heel so you can be aggressive because the Alabama is a bit squishy, so is the North Carolina. So pretty much all the Tier 8 American ships are squishy, but it has a quick cooldown on its heel. It's got that American damage con, and it's really just a great ship to get into some really silly situations with. So Eddie's here in the Massachusetts. Now, the thing is, Eddie doesn't have a 19-point commander. I actually don't know his commander build exactly. I do know he has priority target, adrenaline rush, and manual secondaries. As far as anything else, I don't know. Eddie didn't include that with his information. Now, you may also notice that Eddie does not have premium consumables. And premium consumables, they're a pretty big advantage. Most people can afford them nowadays, and I do recommend that if you are running a premium ship, you use premium consumables because it's easy to get the currency to use them with a premium ship. You just, well, do anything in the game, and you should have your premium consumables paid for. And in other ships, all you have to do is really do decently well, or just contribute in some way. You should have enough credits to buy premium consumables. And I don't know if Eddie was just really in a pinch for credits or what, but he doesn't have them equipped, which makes this replay even that much more impressive. And you may notice that his Massachusetts secondaries are only up to 9.4 kilometers, when with AFT you can get them out to over 10 kilometers. So, all in all, we have a very interesting start here. So anyway, he takes his first salvo at the Roma, and I just turned the volume down because I just went deaf from having my volume up higher than I normally do when I play Wood of Warships. So he's moving over to the A cap here on trap. This cap is usually the cap that makes or breaks a team on this map. Normally, if you can hold this cap's pretty attractive to both sides, being that ships should normally bunch up here, and whoever blinks first, loses the cap. Also, this is a carrier game, and your team has a Graf Zeppelin, a very nice carrier. Actually, probably one of the worst Tier 8 carriers, but the secondaries on it are fantastic if you build for it. The friendly team, Eddie's team, has an Indomitable, a rather interesting Tier 8 carrier that has few planes, but they're very fast. So we'll see how that works out later. So the A cap, Eddie's just freaking going straight in, which I gotta admit, pretty aggressive tactic there. It's one I normally do, and doesn't work out too well for me. But anyway, he's going in. Roma's 12 kilometers away from it and showing him quite a bit of ankle. Now, Roma is a very tough Tier 8 battleship, but when you show that much broadside, well, it's not that tough. So he gets a Citadel there, 17,000 damage, and that Roma's actually quite lucky that Eddie's dispersion was that bad, because that could have been way worse. So, oh, by the way, this is completely from Eddie's perspective. I know some of you guys don't like the whole follow the shells camera. Eddie uses it not a whole lot, but he uses it every now and then, so just know that's him doing it, not me. Broadside Devonshire, the Tier 6 British heavy cruiser, 11 kilometers away, turning there just at the last second. Still takes a couple of big old hits there from Eddie's Massachusetts. Roma, it looks like, just dodged those torpedoes. Roma is quite a maneuverable ship. I do like pretty much everything about the Roma except for its guns. Its guns makes old German dispersion look quite good, and it makes new German dispersion look like well, railguns by comparison. Devonshire again turning broadside, showing Eddie way too much side. And let's see what happens here. He's within 10 kilometers. Ooh, again, got lucky from the Massachusetts dispersion. If that would have been a bit better, that would have been a very dead Devonshire. Roma 9.5 kilometers away, just about to come within the secondary range of Eddie's Massachusetts. Eddie is now contesting the cap. And there we go. He has selected the Roma for his secondaries to start to chew on. Roma misses Eddie. Still showing Eddie a lot of broadside. I guess this was this guy's first game in Roma, but that's not how you Roma. Gets off lucky there that those weren't any citadels. Devonshire and Warspite now opening up on Eddie as well. Roma 8 kilometers away. Eddie turning to get his third turn on target and hopefully finish off this Roma. Again, Roma showing a lot of broadside. He really should be running away in a straight line from Eddie. And, ooh, just a torpedo protection hit there. Eddie lets him have his front guns. And, ooh, again, Roma looks like he's angled just enough to where, actually, no, it did eat those pins, so I guess Dispersion just really screwing Eddie over. Ooh, look at Akazuki. Eddie selects that for his secondaries. Actually, I think he missed the click there. There he goes. Secondaries are now working on that Akazuki. Roma's down to 1100 health. Eddie's guns are about to be reloaded in order to deal with the Roma. And again, Roma's showing a rather uncomfortable amount of broadside. Akazuki's getting really low. And gets the Roma, gets the Akazuki, double strike, and close quarters expert. Wow. That escalated quickly. Now, unfortunately, the Akazuki did get some torpedoes off. Eddie's trying to outrun him, and he's maneuvering here at the last second to minimize the damage. And flooding, steering gears broke, and fire. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why you hold damage con. So when you have the unholy trinity of everything's broken on your ship, you can instantly repair it. So Devonshire 9.4 kilometers, well, it was 9.3, now it's 9.4, just slipped out of secondary range for Eddie. Eddie turning around right now, making maybe a little bit of an unwise decision to turn in front of the Warspite. Fortunately for Eddie, the Warspite's attention was elsewhere. I didn't realize this while he was turning around this time, and I continued to go in. So he's actually at quite low health. He's at 28,000 health right now, which is just under half of the Massachusetts' health. So he makes a smart decision to, rather than go out and get focused fire down by the Devonshire and the Warspite, to turn around and kind of kite away. But then the Devonshire gets taken out by the Indomitable. Anyway. So Warspite's out there 8 kilometers away, selling away, staying well within the Eddie's secondary range. Now, the thing about American secondaries is that they do not do a whole lot of damage in pins. They do most of their damage through fires they set. The only class of ship that American secondaries are really going to consistently do damage to is destroyers and some lightly armored cruisers. Most ships, they won't do a whole lot of damage in pins. It's going to be through the fires that the secondaries start. So Warspite, oh, Eddie gets that too with, speaking of that, the fire that his secondaries start. So, if you notice, this is actually a really close game. Both teams are down by 6 ships right now. Eddie's team has a slight points lead, but the enemy team just capped the B cap. So now they have a very limited amount of, a very small window before the enemy team takes over their points lead. Graf Zeppelin's going after the Leander with his dive bombers. Oh, well, never mind, it worked. Oh, boy, that doesn't happen a whole lot in Graf Zeppelin. And for those who don't know, Graf Zeppelin is completely 100% an anti-capital ship. Oh, he's going after the Agau, too. And 100% an anti-capital ship carrier. Its bombs are, well, it's dive bombers. It's 2 planes per attack wave. And they only drop 2 bombs. They're 2 big bombs, but the dispersion is really wonky, and I'm actually surprised he managed to land those hits on the Leander. Same with its torpedoes. They're slow. They're definitely meant to go after battleships and other aircraft carriers and some larger cruisers, but definitely wouldn't be going after a lot of light cruisers in the Graf Zeppelin if I had my choice of targets. So that being said, Eddie's team is now down to 5 ships. The enemy team still has 6 ships, and Eddie's team only has 1 DD left, while the enemy team has 2 DDs left. So, this is going to be interesting. Oh, and one of these ships left alive on the enemy team is a Sinyov, one of the best ships in the Soviet battleship line. So right now, Eddie's talking with his team, saying, hey guys, we need to go up north. Tirpitz, come with me. 2 secondary build battleships. They can definitely be a force to reckon with. And looks like they're going straight into B and not dancing around B, which again, I gotta commend them for being this aggressive. It's rare that you find this nowadays. So Graf Zeppelin again going after Eddie, and actually he's not going after Eddie, actually going after Tirpitz, if you can tell by the drop pattern. Ooh, drop those way too early. Graf Zeppelin, you really got to hold your torpedoes to like literally the last second because they are so slow. Any mildly fast ship can outrun them, as you can see, no problem there for the Tirpitz. Outruns it easily. Graf Zeppelin coming back up, and looks like he's going to drop his torpedoes this time in between the Massachusetts and the Tirpitz. And again, these torpedoes are so slow, and looks like he dropped though. He didn't get his planes anywhere near enough time for the reticle to close on those, so they're wide open. Molotov way out there at about 17-ish kilometers. Friendly Indomitable running away from the very angry enemy fleet. Looked like those shells missed. Yes, they did. So Molotov out there around 16 kilometers now. Baltimore out there around 15 kilometers. Now the Massachusetts doesn't have any type of special dispersion or anything like the Soviets do. The closer you get, the closer the groups are. It's not like that. It's just you point it in the direction of the enemy. You hope it hits something, and if it hits something, you had a good day. So Molotov dancing around now, and again, look at those shells. Looks like they just opened up the perfect little pathway for the Molotov. Udachi out there, 8.9 kilometers. Lightning out there, 9.6 kilometers. Argyle caught in the middle on top of Graf Zeppelin's rocket planes, so Argyle's not having a good time. And Eddie's opening up on the Udachi. Argyle's trying to get into a smoke screen. Molotov and Baltimore closing in, so it's about to get pretty interesting in the B cap. About to be a party in B. So Eddie going around the torpedoes that the Udachi dropped, giving broadside to the Baltimore Molotov, who is conveniently ignoring him and focusing on the Tirpitz. Tirpitz takes out the Molotov that leaves the Baltimore. Baltimore has been selected for deletion by Eddie's secondaries. Bound to the Baltimore, and let's see how this goes. And he's only gets one pin. Doing a good job watching for the Udachi. Seems he's going to pop up because again, the American secondaries are very, very, very good against destroyers. Ooh, unfortunately, the Baltimore secondaries of all things sinks the Argyle, and Baltimore still coming in. Udachi looks like he's running away now, kind of in the cap. Indomitable detonates the Baltimore. Lightning rushing now the Tirpitz and Eddie and his Massachusetts. And the Tirpitz and Eddie's secondaries are both tearing into the Lightning. I'm not sure if the Tirpitz has manual secondaries, as his secondary spread does look to be a bit wild for manual secondaries, and he's burning up right now quite badly. Lightning is rushing, I'm assuming, for a suicide rush or for a point-blank torpedo drop. And Eddie's guns are reloading. Tirpitz's guns are reloading. And there we go. Tirpitz gets him with the secondaries, but there's a Sinyop that the Tirpitz is broadside to. Now, right now, if I was at Tirpitz, I would just be chunking my torpedoes at that Sinyop. Actually, I don't know. They may have manual Nah, there's a shot's too odd for manual secondaries from the Tirpitz. But I would be dumping my torpedoes as quick as I could at the stream. Like right now, I would be dumping those instead of using my main guns. Eddie makes the call to turn away from the Sinyop to get some distance between him and the Sinyop, which is a pretty good call because, again, the Sinyop's guns are going to be much more accurate the closer Eddie is to the Sinyop. Sinyop takes out the Tirpitz. So now this leads Eddie in the Massachusetts, a Fuso who's still over by A, and the friendly Indomitable against a Udachi, a Sinyop, and a Graf Zeppelin. This is going to be interesting. Now, when I was watching this the first time, I was basically screaming at Eddie to turn further away from the Sinyop, because even at this angle, the Sinyop with Soviet AP can pin the Massachusetts quite hard. And again, because that Soviet AP is just so nasty. However, this Sinyop is not shooting AP. I'm sorry, that was AP. I thought that was HE the first time I was watching this. So Sinyop shot AP, got some decent pins out of Eddie's Massachusetts. Eddie makes the call to turn around now, which this is a very risky maneuver because that was only one turret's worth of AP that the Sinyop got off. His second turret is either broken or he's changing ammo types. Takes one torpedo there from the Graf Zeppelin, not a terrible damage cost there. Starts a fire on the Sinyop. Sinyop now is shooting HE at a broadside Massachusetts. I have no idea why he switched from AP to HE, because he could have absolutely deleted Eddie right here. So Eddie deletes the Sinyop and then gets tagged by another Graf Zeppelin torpedo, and that was his last heal that Eddie just used. So now there's a Graf Zeppelin and Yudachi left against Eddie and his mass and the Fuso and the Indomitable. So Eddie's going to run the corner. He's talking with his team, asking them to, okay, we got to get rid of that DD now, and I'm going to go deal with the Graf Zeppelin. Speaking of Graf Zeppelin, there he is. He's still typing in chat at this moment. And what stood out to me right here is that Graf Zeppelin has not started to tear into Eddie with his secondaries yet. So that Graf Zeppelin, shame on you, is not running a secondary build. There's no point in owning a Graf Zeppelin if you don't throw a secondary build on it, because it is mematic and terrific, my personal opinion. Now, this Graf Zeppelin secondaries are that good that if he had a secondary build, he could potentially be tearing Eddie a new one right now. But he doesn't have the slightest hint of a secondary build. He's 6 kilometers away from Eddie, and his secondaries are just now starting to open up. So, bad Graf Zeppelin, you should have had a secondary build. Especially against the Massachusetts, because it's, American battleships coated in 32 millimeters of armor. Could have been tearing Eddie a new one. But it works great for Eddie anyway. So Eddie's already just deleted almost all this Graf Zeppelin's health at this point. Graf Zeppelin is trying to do something about Eddie. And he's going to use torpedo planes. His secondaries are now starting to tear into him. And he's down to 550 health. Eddie's rear turret comes on target. Goodbye, Graf Zeppelin. And there's Eddie's Kraken. But unfortunately, the Yudachi just took out the friendly Fuso. Now, Eddie has to dodge these torpedoes because he cannot afford to take any more damage with his Massachusetts. Sets his priority sector for the Graf Zeppelin planes that are coming in. Does a very good call here and slows down trying to throw off the bomb, which actually saves him, gives him just the right momentum to get him between the crack here between these two torpedoes. So now the situation is that DD has to die. There's only just under 3 minutes left on the clock, and Eddie's in a Massachusetts that's not very fast, 28 knots top speed, and Indomitable is selling away from the cap. So by the time Eddie gets to that cap, the points lead is going to be too far gone for them to win, or it's going to be very, very close. So in order to get a guaranteed win, that Yudachi has to go down. Now the Indomitable is doing what he can with his rocket planes. Indomitable actually has some pretty decent rocket planes, but the thing is, they're very fast and very unmaneuverable. So he has to take these big, long loops around to get another run off at the Yudachi. Now, he barely knocks him there. So Eddie has now made the right decision and switched on over to HE. Anytime there's only DDs left in the game and you're in a battleship, you need to load HE. It's going to give you the best results, best bang for your buck. So the Yudachi is well outside of Eddie's range right now, and once he does come within Eddie's range, it's going to be around the maximum of the range of the Massachusetts. So now he is in the B cap and he's starting to flip it. So now, even though the enemy team doesn't have 2 caps, they're still going to have a lead, because for the entire time Eddie's flipping this, both teams are getting the same amount of points. So there he goes. He has launched his forward 2 turrets at the Yudachi. The shells from them. They didn't actually launch the turrets. And let's see. Oh, gets a lucky hit there. 2 hits on the Yudachi. Starts to fire and disables, I'm assuming, everything. His rudder, his engine, and I'm guessing a torpedo tube or a turret. And if you notice, Yudachi's burning. He's not putting out the fire, which means he doesn't have any damage con. So Indomitable moving in for another swipe at the Yudachi. There we go. Yudachi down to 91 health, 51 health, 11 health, and there we go. The fire set by Eddie's Massachusetts takes out the Yudachi. Unfortunately, I do not have the end screen here, although I can imagine that Eddie was top of his team with a performance like that. 6 kills, 450-ish secondary hits, Confederate, high caliber, double strike, Kraken, and secondary expert. My God, Eddie, did you run it this game? And I have to say, this is legitimately one of the best Massachusetts games I have seen here. And Eddie, just congrats to you, man. That was an absolutely amazing game with a not ideal captain build and with non-premium consumables. Look at that. A great game. Such is rare nowadays. And Eddie, my You did it, dude. Congratulations. Hope you enjoyed having your replay on the channel, and thank you so much for getting this to me, Eddie. Eddie was having a bit of trouble finding exactly how to get the replay file to me, but he did it. I'm so glad he did. This is a great game, and again, Eddie, just that was awesome, dude. That was awesome. I wish I had games like that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Let Eddie know you enjoyed his battle in the comments down below. We're on our way to 8,000 subscribers. If you liked what you saw here today, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any games to send to the channel, link is in the description down below. Send them into my email down there. Also join the Discord, also in the link down below. You can send replays to me there as well. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. Hope you're having a great Thursday. I hope to catch all of you guys in the next one.